So today we're going to be talking about Kordell Stewart. For decades now, we're talking about this man's 20s, 30s, 40s. He'll be 50 in a couple of years. He's had to go through a lie that was told on him. Recently, he was able to talk about his story with Tamron Hall, and he revealed where that lie originated from. He also touched on his experience on the Real Housewives of Atlanta in the divorce from his wife, Porsha Stewart. Before we get into it, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications to all so you get updates when new videos are posted here, and also hit that like button. Let's go ahead and get into it. It's 2021 and Kordell Stewart, he's finally able to address these rumors that's been following him ever since the late 90s. He said the gay rumors started in the beginning of 1998. He was at home chilling with his then girlfriend when he got a phone call from a family friend who had been at the barbershop. While at the shop, this guy was an older guy. He was getting so angry hearing about what the guys had said about Kordell Stewart. And the conversation was that Kordell was arrested by a cop because he was caught in a park doing something with a trans. When Kordell first heard it, he thought it was funny because he was like, they not talking about me. He had never ever been arrested in Pittsburgh. It just didn't happen. The old man was so upset that he wanted to take his cane and hit somebody with it in the barbershop. He was getting mad about it. But it wasn't until Kordell got a phone call from the team's publicist or someone in the administrative wing. The owner, Dan Rooney, wanted to see him. And when Kordell showed up, first the secretary, she's like, "You okay? Everything's okay?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm good. What's up?" He goes to see Dan Rooney, the owner of the Steelers. He's like, "I just want to know, are you okay? Are you okay?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm good." Kordell had no clue that that's what they had called him about. He's thinking they're about to talk to him about their latest game that they had lost. So he's going in thinking he's about to talk about the game and what he's going to do and the team's going to do in order to improve to come up from that loss. But instead, he was hit with the rumor, and that's when it really got real. I just want you guys to imagine this real quick. Put yourself in Kordell's shoes. He's having to address these false rumors with the owner of the NFL team, coaches, and his teammates. A bunch of lies. He's now having to explain this at his job and with his colleagues. Now, Dan Rooney, the owner of this team, he has one of the top law firms in the area. So Kordell asked him, "Mr. Rooney, how can we get down to the bottom of this and find out where this came from?" Dan Rooney said he wasn't concerned about the rumor, but he told Kordell that he was going to look into it and get to the bottom of it. Meanwhile, Kordell has to go to the coach. He's explaining the story to him. He has to go in the locker room in front of all of his teammates and put on this big Bernie Mac style stand-up skit in order to let the guys know, hey, it's not me. This is not true. That did not happen. But let me say one thing about the NFL players and their relationships that they think they have with these NFL owners and the head coaches. These NFL players really think that these folks care about them, but when it all boils down to it, they will show you where they really stand. Kordell looked at this man like he was a father figure, and that's the first mistake that a lot of these pro athletes make. And right now, I'm talking about the team's owner, Dan Rooney. Dan Rooney got to the bottom of it, and his team was able to do an investigation and find out where the rumor originated from. And according to Dan Rooney, it was a cop who came up with this lie about Kordell. Kordell asked him, "What's his name? I want to know, who is it?" And Dan Rooney, who Kordell says he looked up to him as a father figure, told him that he could not tell him. So for all these decades now, this rumor has gone around and the public wasn't able to find out that it was an officer who started this rumor. And Dan Rooney, the owner of the team, he knew exactly where it came from. His team traced it back to that officer, and they would not give Kordell the information, nor would they clear his name in the media. I feel bad for Kordell here. We have to think about this. He was in his 20s, and we all know when the lie is so entertaining, people, they will continue to repeat it. And then next thing you know, you have to deal with the fact that people actually believe this stuff. Is it fair to say most of the people around him really probably believe this about him? And so this started in the 90s, and now he's 48 years old, still having to go through this. And you notice how loud the rumor was over all these decades, being broadcast all over the place, but nobody's broadcasting this story about the truth. Kordell looked at the NFL owner as a father figure. He loved him so much, but he showed who he was aligned with, and it wasn't Kordell. The organization knew who did it, but protected the person who started these lies that damaged this man's reputation in his 20s, 30s, and 40s. He's basically going to have to live his whole life with the damage caused by that lie. Kordell didn't really want to say why that officer's word was credible, but it's very obvious why the person who started this rumor would be deemed credible. Now, why would that person make up a lie on Kordell Stewart? We're talking about Pittsburgh, West Pennsylvania, in the 90s. And still to this day, everything outside of Philadelphia is like Alabama. So this guy could have been jealous of Kordell for whatever reason. And that's why he started that lie. Now, Kordell's decision to go on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I remember watching those episodes when Porsha was introduced on the show as the housewife of a very famous NFL player. So she needed him to even be a part of that cast. To me, it was a horrible decision. Kordell should have never gone on that show. Those producers, Bravo, the network, everybody, their whole agenda is to attack masculinity. So it was not a safe environment for him, and they only exacerbated those rumors started by that police officer in the 90s. All for TV show ratings. You know, the network got millions of views from this, and a lot of those women solidified their career, especially Kenya Moore, off of throwing shade on Kordell. They kept calling Kordell controlling on the show. Porsha was fine with Kordell when she first got on the show. The way they ran their household, she was a part of his program, she was cooperative. She was still a very young woman. She got around all the older women. They started talking crap about her, making her feel bad. And I knew right then and there that the relationship wasn't going to work. It was only a matter of time before Kordell checked out of this whole situation. That show ruined their marriage, period. And it's not just their marriage, it's ruined every marriage of every woman that came on the show. I know people can say, well, how can a show ruin their marriage? A show ruins their marriage because you have producers, you have the network, you have everybody willing to create drama, negative interactions, just to be able to make a dollar, just to be able to get views, just to be able to get attention, and to be able to live the lifestyle that they're living. That's why every single woman that goes on that show, they have the same exact issue. The men they go on the show with, they break up every single time. These reality shows, they help produce more divorces than content. And then they use the divorce and all the drama around it for more content. If they had not gone on this show, Kordell and Porsha, they would have still been married. But was that the life that Porsha wanted? Seems like Porsha wanted to be in the limelight. She wanted to be in the spotlight. And now she's there. She ended up having a baby with a guy who, if you ask me, is not on the level of a Kordell Stewart. And he's been playing her and making her look real crazy out here for a couple of years now. The marriage with Kordell Stewart, it ended. She had to start dating down, and she hasn't been married again since. And now Porsha is 39, soon to be 40. I am happy though that Kordell was able to tell his story. I always wonder where that rumor came from. And it's crazy that the NFL organization, the owner of that organization, they did an investigation. They found out exactly where it came from. But they didn't want any smoke with law enforcement or to ruffle any feathers over there or to go against them and then stand on the side of Kordell. They didn't want to do that at all. If you want to support this channel, make sure you hit up the Cash App. The link is below in the description. Ladies, fellas, if you want to see more content like this, balanced content from a female perspective, make sure you subscribe to this channel. Click that like button and share.